Hey guys, welcome to another viewer comments episode. And with me is my co-host Carrie, who's also the lead singer in my band Anastasi. You've heard her voice in some of the demos that I've done for different tones that I use. We use our backing tracks, which your voice is obviously on. So in case you were wondering who that is singing, it's her. And she's also going to be more a part of a lot of the upcoming videos that we will be doing. Now that she's got a lot of time freed up, she can be here more. So it's going to be really cool having you here more.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad I finally got some time to be here. I've always been involved kind of behind the scenes, and you've definitely heard my voice. But I'm excited to be more of an active, visible part.
Yeah, in front of the camera instead of behind it. So,
Right.
And you probably noticed that things look a little different. I've worked very hard the last several days on getting my studio, my set up here to look better for you guys. I mean, we reached 1,000 subscribers.
That's right.
And
we've got something special planned too, right?
exactly, but
we got to get the set done first.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you what that is until the set's done. And on top of that, I mean, because we've reached 1,000 subscribers, what I wanted to do is put a lot of effort into making this even better. So now we're kind of upping our game for you guys and creating better content for you and better eye candy. I mean, we got a better looking set. She's here. So, you know, and so yeah, it's going to be...
You've done a great job too. This is, it's really looking top notch in here, and I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to look awesome. It really is. We got really good stuff coming up, and like I said, it's going to look really pro. So you won't have that goofy background anymore that you've seen in some of my other videos. So that's all gone, and we've, like I said, done some upgrades. So let's get started with the first comment.
All right. So our first comment comes from Boston Mike. It says, "Hello, I'm new to Kemper and have been watching many of your great videos. I just set my rig up. I'm running into the Mackie mixer out in stereo to two Alto TS310 powered speakers, 2,000 watts. I hate that boxed blanketed sound I hear on many demo videos, so I got these new Alto 10-inch. They're light and easy to move and loud. I played a bunch of profiles and did not hear the boxy blanket sound. It all sounded good. Maybe these 10-inch altos are usable. I have a Zytone and a Red Sound FRFR cab as well, so I have good ears, I hope." And then he has a smiley face. The end of it says, "Anyway, very frustrating to watch these videos based on what you've been saying. I'm wondering now if I should just buy Friedman's, put them on tripods before he goes to spend hours tweaking his set list only to find out his tone is going to suck when he plugs direct into the front of house rig." And he says, "Have you tried the newer Alto TS310s? Am I wrong here?"
I haven't tried those yet. I want to, and I definitely intend on doing a shootout with those because that's one of our favorite things to do is the shootouts. And the reason why we love doing shootouts so much is because everybody wants to compare what's better or, you know, whatever, because everything sounds great by itself until you do a shootout with something that's either better or not as good to confirm that it sounds great.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or to confirm that you need to upgrade.
It's funny. He always asks me when he's A-B. If he doesn't A-B it, I'm like, "It sounds like a guitar."
Yeah. But then when
Still
you hear
sounds like a guitar.
But then when you hear the difference, you're like, well, that actually sounds better.
Yes.
So, yeah, you don't know until you do the shootout. Okay, so regarding buying the Friedmans and putting them on tripods instead of tweaking your tones on different speakers to make them sound good, I would buy the Friedmans only because it's a truer sound, so you don't have to do so much tweaking. Because here's the thing. If you have a speaker that's kind of substandard, okay, and you have to tweak your tones that are coming out of your Kemper or your Helix or Axe-Fx to make it sound good through that speaker, you're compromising the tone, okay? So if you compromise it a lot, which typically is what happens with these plastic cabs, that compromise is going to be put through an FOH system, and people are going to hear all of the compromise. They're going to hear stuff that sounds unnatural, and sound guys are actually going to listen to that and go, "Your tone sucks, dude. I mean, it doesn't sound normal, and I have to do all this tweaking to make it sound good again." So now you have this overly processed sound because you overly processed it to sound good through your altos. and then because that overly processed sound doesn't sound good through the front of house,
like garbage. Yeah.
Now the sound guy has to overly process that. Now it's like, well, no wonder it doesn't sound like an amp anymore. I mean, it's just an overly processed mess. So that's why I use the Friedmans, because that way I don't have to process anything. I don't have to dial anything in. I pick the profile that I like in my Kemper, and I do minimal tweaks just like you would do with a normal amp. A little bit of treble, a little bit of presence, maybe adjust the mids here and there in the bass, but it's so minuscule, it's like the same adjustments you would do with an amp. So as that pumps through front of house, sound guys aren't going, oh, this sounds like crap, I have to adjust it. It's very natural sounding, and it sounds real, so you don't have to worry about any issues with that. Okay, so let's do the next comment.
And I'm hoping saying this name correctly. It looks like Georgie Petrick. He says, do more Kemper Profiles review / dial-in. Really enjoyed this one.
Thank you very much for commenting, and I will definitely do more reviews and dial-ins, because there's a ton of Kemper profiles out there that need to be reviewed, and I really look forward to doing those reviews. And a lot of times with these reviews, the profiles sound really good, but I want to show you how to kind of take them to the next level so that they sit in a mix really well, or they actually sound good live really well. So, because a lot of times with the Kemper profiles, they sound great out of the box, and there's just a little bit of fine tuning that you need to do. And I've found with a lot of people is they tune them. They process them, and like, oh, I'm going to get in here and do all this stuff, and then people wonder why they don't sound good.
Right.
That's why. I'm going to show you how to do it on a very minimalist kind of way, so that we keep the spirit of the amplifier that was profiled. Okay, so let's do the next one.
So there's 2 comments on this one. Steve Strummer, really interesting ideas, Jared, and some great playing too. Love this channel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he's referring to the one where I was talking about how I use my Kemper Profiler live and get more creative with it, and really capitalize on all of the things that,
I remember that.
it allows me to do. So,
and the next one is from Alien Love Secrets. Really cool. It makes sense to incorporate such things right from the start in songwriting and make them real atmospheric parts of the song rather than use them randomly out of a live stage mood.
Thank you for commenting. And that's also on the same episode where I show how to capitalize on using your digital platform in a live setting. And he's right, because a lot of times what I've seen guitar players do is they go on stage and they have the same clean tone for every song, the same distorted tone and the same lead tone for every song. And even if the tones are really good, with these digital platforms, you could dial these things in for each part of the song and make it unique. You know, I mean, which is really nice, because instead of like, I don't know, I hate to use the word boring, you know, but instead of boring everyone with the same 3 types of tones all night, why not give them some variety and really like amp it up? Like when we play live, I love just chucking stuff out at people all night and seeing the looks on their faces, you know. And when he's talking about the mood, some parts of songs, like on one of our songs, Eternal Deception, there's an eerie part. Well, I dialed in my clean tone to have some reverse delay on it so it would sound eerie. And it actually enhances that mood of the song. So definitely keep that stuff in mind when you're dialing in your digital platforms, because you can really capitalize on all the stuff that they offer and really enhance the mood of your live performances.
And I like how he said using it right from the start, even in songwriting.
Yeah, because a lot of times that's what I do too. Like I'll be thinking about like, all right, I got to write this part, and I start thinking about like, ooh, what would make this part really pop out nice? And then it actually helps me write the part more, and it's kind of like an inspiration kind of thing, you know, and it creates more inspiration to write the part better. And sometimes an effect will actually create a moment for you to actually write something.
No, it's true for vocalists as well. We practice with our in-ears,
Yep.
and he has all of the effects on my voice being piped into my ears, and it helps me in the beginning stages of songwriting as well. I'll milk something, I'll use the vibrato, and if it's not there, it doesn't create the same, glorious or mysterious or,
Yep. And it goes for singers, guitar players, everybody, because like what you were saying, like if you're just singing dry, it's just kind of like it's so uninspiring. Yeah. it's very uninspiring. But if you got all this glorious stuff going on in your ears, it makes you want to sing more, and it makes you want to push the envelope and work on things.
Makes you want to turn your guitar player down.
Well, that too. So, yeah, use it subjectively.
All right, let's see what we have next. This is from Eric Fisher. I wonder if your patches were created on the Friedman. If so, did you adjust them for the head rush, or did you just play patches that were designed to sound nice on your Friedman through the head rush?
Well, that's a very good point and a very good question, and I appreciate it very much. So, basically what I do when I pick a profile on my Kemper when I'm playing through my Friedman cabs is I just choose it. I don't do a bunch of dialing in and tweaking. And what I wanted to do was show you guys what a raw profile sounded like in comparison between the Friedman and the head rush. So I didn't dial it in to sound good on the Friedman and then all of a sudden it sounded like crap on the head rush. It's the same profile with no tweaks, so that you had a really good, fair, and even comparison. Now, that said, I could dial it in to make it sound better on the head rush, and equal the Friedman a little better. But I did an episode about that, and it's titled, Can a Plastic Speaker Sound Good?
Right.
And what you do is you compromise the tone so much to make it sound good through one of these plastic wedges that it doesn't sound natural anymore.
You really do have your viewer's best interest at heart. Yeah. You're not trying to fool anybody. You're not trying to, work some magic. You really do want people to make the best decision for their style of music, for their playing, for their guitar,
exactly.
their ear.
Yep, and that's really what I want to do, because there's no tricks or behind the scenes little things that I'm doing here. It's all on the up and up. I want our channel to have integrity, and the other thing too is no one's lining our pockets. I don't have anybody sending me fat checks saying, "Hey, make my stuff sound good." Because
unfortunately,
unfortunately,
just saying,
you can send me the checks, but I'm still going to show people the truth. So full disclosure, I will still be honest with my reviews, no matter how much people pay me. I can't be bought.
Only with whiskey.
Yeah. Better be good whiskey.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have Mr. Dave Miley. I agree 100% with the comment. Find a few sounds that will get the job done in a good way, then quit experimenting for a while. Give yourself time to adjust. For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Ear burnout.
Yeah, exactly. He's talking about the how to stay out of the rabbit hole episode that I did. And
you have been in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I've been there.
I've experienced him in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, she sent in the Coast Guard to come get me. Yeah, and the thing is you're right. I mean, what he's saying is like, stick with a profile for a while, get to know it, and really see if this works for you. And if it does speak to you after you've played it for a few days, chances are it's a pretty good profile. And stop jumping from profile to profile or patch to patch, and just land on something and utilize it for a while, and you'll find that you're doing more playing and less tweaking, because I want to be a good player, not a good tweaker, So,
and if Alice shows up, then you're in trouble.
In Wonderland? Yeah, exactly. If you run into the Mad Hatter, it's time to leave.
All right, and this is on the same episode from a Whole Lotta Bulldog. Amazing. I discovered the clean dirty test last week, actually. Legitimately works.
Yeah, the clean dirty test is great when you're picking profiles, because if you go into a clean patch and you play it for a few seconds and your ear is kind of calm down and you get all this pleasant type sound going on, and then you switch to a nice distorted patch, it's going to tell on itself right away. Like, you're going to hear all of these horrible, harsh things come out if it has those. Now, if it survives the test and you switch from a clean patch to a dirty patch and it still sounds really good and there's like continuity there, it's a good patch. I mean, that really will reveal a lot of good or bad things about it, and it's very telling when you use that test. So definitely use that when you're picking out profiles or different kind of distorted tones. It definitely helps.
Okay. There's 2 on this episode. From James Underwood is the first one. Great video. I'm looking into a digital platform in about a year or so, and these videos help a lot. What would you suggest for a lower volume bedroom loudness playing practicing? Still something like a Friedman or Mission Engineering FRFR cab? Would the bass response still feel right at those lower volumes with a product like this?
Good question. I would suggest either product, but I will say that with the Friedman, it has a low cut on the back that you can turn on and off. So with that feature, if you're at a lower volume, you can turn the low cut off and it'll still give you more bass response at lower volumes.
Okay, our last comment is from MK. M space K. Plastic monitors are good for one thing. ... Recycling. Keep dull sound out of the environment. Floored by the difference. Excellent video. I don't get the thumbs down.
Okay, well, I really appreciate the comment, MK, very much. Thank you. And I don't get the thumbs down either. I mean, I think some people just get butthurt because, and no offense, but some people just get butthurt because they're like, oh, he's ragging on plastic cabs again, or, you know, but the thing is...
You're allowed to, by the way.
I am allowed to. You know, it's what we do. You know, we just speak our mind here, and everything that I say, I back up because I did do a demonstration, and I showed the difference between the two. And, you know, what is that saying? Facts don't care about your feelings? I mean, it's just, the proof is in the demonstrations. I mean, I showed you what studio monitors sound like. With the same tone, I showed you what the plastic cab sounded like, and the studio monitors clearly sounded better.
And thumbs down are okay though. It just keeps the conversation going.
It's fine. I don't get upset about it because that's just, you know, everybody gets a chance to speak their mind.
And I feel like you have actually created relationships with people who initially started out as, you know, thumbs down or upset with you about something or had a very strong opinion about something that you said, and you were able to ask them some questions and see what they were really looking for, what the real problem was, and turn them around.
Well, a lot of times, you know, people might misunderstand something that I'm saying, or they might think that I'm just coming at them like, oh, the plastic cabs are garbage or whatever. And I don't think they're garbage. I just think that there's better choices out there, especially if you're going to spend the same kind of money. I mean, for the same kind of money, you can literally buy a great pair of studio monitors and have them separated in your room and have stereo sound, as opposed to having a plastic cab sitting on the floor and sounding dull and like it has a blanket over it, you know? And that was why I did that video, because in my opinion, and based on the experience I've had with this kind of stuff, I'd rather have the studio monitors and the stereo sound and the better sound than a plastic cab sitting on the floor, and for the same price.
Right.
You know, I mean, it really makes more sense to do that. So the people that are kind of upset with me for saying that, I mean, you guys are missing out. If you just listen and go buy a good pair of studio monitors and do the test for yourself, you're going to be like, yeah, I think that plastic cab's going to start collecting dust now because these studio monitors sound better. All right, well, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it very much. And we have a lot of stuff that we're working on here. We're almost done getting the set all finished up and finessed for upcoming videos. And we really look forward to giving you great content and sharing a lot of great information with you, and our little special surprise that we have coming up for our little celebration about having 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so it's great, and we really appreciate you guys more than we can say. So stick around for more videos, and we got a lot of great stuff coming up, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.